Hey, SK fans, Leonix here, joined by Hi after their win against CLG. How do you feel after that win?
A lot better than I would if we lost. And I don't know, it feels great. We went 2-0 this week, and that game was really fun. So I feel great.
I know that you just picked up Zed. Is this a common pick for you now, or coming back into the LCS? I know that a few meta changes have happened in the recent weeks, and obviously that's like one of your champions, of course, from Worlds. But is he a strong pick?
I think we've always played Zed. Just in the past, we didn't try to build comps that could fit him in. Because if you have like an 80 top, you can't really go on 80 mid because that's just too much 80 damage. So now we have more comps that have AP damage top and has an 80 carry. So it just gives me more opportunity to pick Zed.
So I think everyone's been wondering and seeing all these Twitter pictures about your hands. What's going on here? Now it's on both. It was on only one the other day.
To be fair, I have 0 pictures of it on Twitter. It's on Instagram. Just to be clear, because people might call me out and trying to fish for like support or something. No, it's on my Instagram. That's like a more personal thing than Twitter, and I just like keeping people up to date with what's happening in my daily life on Instagram. So, this is just from bad posture or ergonomics. And if I took a month break, it'd be perfectly fine, but I don't really have that luxury as a player. So I have to wear these braces all day for the next month. And at night, I switch to different braces where they don't let me actually move my wrist at all. So it's I have 2 different braces I have to wear in the daytime and at night, and then I have to ice my wrist. As far as I know, I should be okay. It's as long as I take care of it fine, do exercises, ice it, wear these things, there should be no problem at all. So I don't think people should worry too much. I'm not really worried about it, so.
Fair enough. Now that you guys actually come 2-0 out of this week, is this kind of like you reverting back to your normal state of Cloud9 success, or is this just kind of figuring out what you guys' strengths are in this new season? Is this the turnaround for you?
I hope so, because we are 6-4 right now, and if we keep winning, we can maybe go 14-4. But I don't think that will happen. But at the very least, I want us to keep improving and getting better, because ultimately, I don't really care about winning the split. That'd be great. But I want to get to Worlds and at least get top 4 this time, because we got kicked out the same place two Worlds in a row, and that sucks. So my end goal is just improving our team for Worlds and for IM and whatever tournaments we have.
I've actually talked to a couple of different people, and they say that this is not really Cloud9 being in a slump, but actually the whole league overall it's kind of upped in talent. Is this true? Is NA actually developing talent, being a well infrastructured kind of scene?
I don't think NA never had talent. Say for example, if our best teams got to play against the other top teams in the world, we'd be able to pick more games off over and over, and we definitely can beat them. The difference this split is, I think the 2 top teams right now, CLG and TSM, CLG specifically has stepped up their game a lot. So it's always just been us and TSM being at the top, and we could fare against the Koreans and the Europeans and Chinese teams, but we wouldn't be better than them. Both the third team coming in the mix being super good as well, and being arguably better than us and TSM, it just makes us have to play better to be able to beat them. So with an extra team that is World's caliber, it does make us better. We've had the same people in the scene the entire time. It's just we learned how to organize practice better, how to play better, and how to use our brains over instinct more.
Speaking of international talent and international events coming up, IM World Championships. You guys already qualify because of IM San Jose. What's that kind of expectations for you guys?
Well, I haven't really put any thought towards that at the moment. I don't even know what teams are going there besides us and TSM. So once the week of IM starts coming up closer, I'll start taking more notice of the teams in it and what we have to do to try and beat them. But at the moment, it's not on my radar right now. I just want the team to get better and us to get back into a good groove.
For preparing for that IEM World Championships, right? Is this I don't know, scene right now, NA scene, compared to last year Worlds or even the international event that you previously won, kind of comparing in strength and that kind of region rivalry with Europe or even Korea and then China? Is it kind of all the same now, or are we catching up? Because you guys actually have a lot more experience in that international scene. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, the thing with international things is they only happen every so often. So the last international tournament that wasn't IM San Jose was Worlds, basically. And that's been 4 months since that happened. Since then, there's been an exodus of Korean players to China. So it's just every region changes between these international events. So it's hard to be able to tell who's at the top now because there's always so many changes. We brought in like a ton of Koreans. China brought in a ton of Koreans. Korea arguably got weaker. Europe arguably got stronger, whatever, right? So you don't really know what happens in between each international event to determine which region's stronger. You just have to wait till that tournament and see what happens.
I know that yesterday Lemonation pulled out that Vagar support, and he's been spamming it in solo queue. Is that kind of like your call, like, if you've been practicing it, let's try it? Or is it something like you worked with a team to build something around? Or is it kind of just we throw it out there just to try it?
Well, I don't really do picks and bans. I'm very flexible with the things that we play in the team. I don't really care if someone wants to try something. I'm more than willing to let them do that. But I'm not the one in charge of that. Lemon and Charlie are mostly the ones in charge of that. And more recently, Charlie has taken full control of that. So if Charlie feels like something is good and someone's been practicing a good amount, he can decide if we want to practice it or not. And Lemon played like 15 games of Vagar in a row. It went well, and Charlie looked at it, and they played it over in LCK, I think. I don't really know. Somewhere over in Asia, China, or Korea. And it went well for them too. So he was okay with trying it out, and we tried it out, and it worked well. So
fair enough. So with that being like said, I kind of want to ask you as well. For you in Cloud9, Cloud9's always known to be this kind of like theory crafting team of figuring out what's good in the meta, and like I guess top two, right, kind of determines that on the meta. Is this correct? Or like do you feel like other teams are going to copy you in the past and even now? For you, are you mainly a theory crafter, or you kind of like look to other regions?
Well, when someone tries something new, people will always look at it and see if it's good or bad and try it themselves. So some metas will work and some other metas won't. So like in China or whatever, they've been doing like a lot of kite comps, and that might not necessarily work over here just because different regions have different play styles. So I don't really know if people just copy other people, but that's not a bad thing to do either. You look at someone doing well, figure out why they're doing well, try it out and see if it's better than what you're currently doing. And if it is, you can adapt to it. But if it's not, you stick to what you're doing. So you can look at a team like TSM. They've basically play the same way over and over because it works for them and it works really well. So they don't have any reason to change. But if a team is bad and they aren't doing well, they should look to see what they can do to improve on. And that's where you look at other teams for inspiration.
Where do you get your decisiveness when you do your shot calling? Do you kind of, is that your personality, or do you like take from something else from that?
Well, back in the beginning space when we started winning a lot and only won, basically that's a good confidence boost, right? Whatever you're doing it right, and you need to change that. So when we started losing, then we had to figure out things to change. But as far as like my confidence goes, it's just the kind of person I am. I'm not really a shy person. I'm not really, what's opposite of confident? That's not, is it shy? I don't know. What is that? Well, anyway, it's just the kind of person I am. I don't really have an issue of saying something, and if I'm wrong, whatever, I'll figure that out later. But I'll say something, I'll just stick with it, because what's the worst that can happen? Well, a lot of bad things, I guess, but I'll accept the consequences of whatever I do.
Shout-outs?
Thanks, everyone, for watching this interview, and thanks for supporting us. Hopefully we get better so that you guys aren't mad at us anymore. And thanks for the interview, man. Appreciate it.
All right, if you want any more coverage just like this, be sure to check out SK Gaming. Like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, till next time, guys.